All right, so I'm done riveting the stringers. Now the only thing left to do before I get to the rear spar is to finish riveting all the inspar ribs to the skins. And it's a good bit of rivets. I've got clecos in every one just to sort of illustrate that. But I don't think it's going to take me that long. There's a lot of room to work. It should be pretty quick. The plans don't give any real guidance on any sort of a pattern that you should follow. They just say rivet the 905, which are these outboard ones, and the rest of the 1005, which are these here, inspar ribs to the skins. What I thought I would do is start on the 905s at the, where they are behind the rear spar, and just work my way back on all the 905s per side and get them sort of caught up to the 1005s, which of course are already riveted between the stringer and the front spar. So I'm going to do that, get everything caught up, and then do that for each of the panel, top, left, right, top, bottom, and then come back around and finish everything. So I don't know if that's overkill, or maybe I should be even alternating side to side, or top to bottom. I'm not going to do that. If anyone has any wisdom on some sort of a pattern that I should follow, some sort of best practices, please let me know. But this seems reasonable without being overkill, and again, I don't think it's going to take me that much longer to do it this way. So I'm going to get going. All right, for anybody who's curious, that was 15 minutes and what? 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 rivets in 15 minutes or so. Okay, so that's not bad. I'm gonna do the rest, and yeah, okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I've riveted the inspar ribs, the 905 inspar ribs, up to the point where they're sort of caught up to the 1005s. 1005s, I think. Anyway, up to the point where they're all lined up with where the stringers go. And now I got to go back and just do the rest of these. And actually, I've already done the top left. The battery died in the camera, so I kept going. But yeah, I just got to do the rest of these. On the top left, I ended up leaving clecos in all these top ones, and that's because when I took the cleco out to do the rivet, the skin started to spread out, and there's no good way to hold it. I could get a clamp or something and press it up, but then I realized that I can actually get at those with the squeezer. So what I'm going to do is wait until I've done all the rest, and then I'll get out the pneumatic squeezer and get it set up for the rest of the squeezing I need to do anyway. And do all of these, and that way I'll be able to, I think with the pneumatic, that'll be a case where I can hold everything together, hold the squeezer in place, and then trigger it with my foot, and that'll probably be the easiest way to be able to hold stuff tight while I set those rivets. So anyway, I'm going to get to bucking these, and still got a good ways to go with those, so get to it. Alright, I thought I'd talk about these last few rivets before I get to the trailing edge. These are the last rivets, aftmost rivets in the inspar ribs before I get to the trailing edge. And so when you take this last cleco out, what happens is the skin sort of pulls away. Hopefully you can see that. So you take that last cleco out, there's nothing else holding the skin, and the skin sort of pulls away from the flange there. And you could try to hold it in and rivet and buck that, but it also dawned on me that these are within reach of the squeezer with the 3-inch yoke on it, and of course you can. So what I'm doing here is just using tape to kind of pull the skin back in. Let me see. Yeah, so a little bit of tape to pull it tight there, a little over tight really. And then rivet, of course, and then my little the little fuel tubing trick that I've talked about before, where you put a little piece of tubing that's just a little bit longer than the shank of the rivet on there, and then when you squeeze that rivet, that tubing is going to compress down first and sort of press the pieces together. So using the beloved hand squeezer here with the 3-inch yoke, and with all that stuff holding it together, let's see how we did. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Check it. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. All right. So, got a few more of those to do, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so I saved the end for last, the ends, and I actually did that end with the pneumatic squeezer, and now I think I'm gonna do these with the hand squeezer, just sort of as a comparison. Obviously if I have a lot, like when I do the spar, I'm going to do the pneumatic because it's awfully tiring doing all that with the hand squeezer. But for something like this, it might be quicker to just sort of go along and do them with this thing, so I'm going to give it a shot. Better. Yeah, that's kind of a pain. Alright, that'll work. That's good. Okay, cool. Now, I tried to alternate. No real good reason to, I don't guess, but I will. That's how I did it with the other. think if you're not careful, you can dent this just because you're twisting around so much at the end here. Yeah, so as you'll see here, I do go ahead and switch back over to the pneumatic squeezer. I could have finished it up with the hand squeezer, but I was having a hard time holding everything still, and I guess I was just feeling a little clumsy. Wow! Wish I'd gotten that on film. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, I felt like I needed another set of hands, and I could have had my wife come down and hold things still, I suppose, but I already had the pneumatic set up from doing the other side, and it just didn't make sense to risk putting a bend in the end, in the edge here when I was so close to done. So, like I say, I did switch back over to the pneumatic and finish this up. So, speaking of finishing it up, I'm going to go ahead and end this one here and keep it a little short and save the rear spar and finishing the stabilizer for the next one, which should be coming out very soon. So thanks for watching.